Mizzou went undefeated this past season, broke the max scoring record with 188.5 points, and qualified 10 wrestlers for the NCAA tournament. But now that they're leaving the MAC, which team is next in line to dominate? Let's stop stalling and start talking wrestling. What's going on, wrestling fans? My name's Josiah, and welcome to Fanco Wrestling, your source for college wrestling news and discussion. And I know we typically don't talk a lot about MAC schools, and the reason for that is because look at the views from my MAC videos and my Pac-12 videos to my Big Ten videos. Josiah, you always talk about Penn State. You always talk about Iowa. That's all you talk about. Well, the reason for that is because there's a lot more interest, or there seems to be a lot more interest in those videos, and they drive a lot of views to the channel. So if you are enjoying this video and you are a fan of the MAC, you're a fan of Rider, you're a fan of Mizzou, or were a fan of Mizzou when they were in the MAC, Kent State, or any other team here, make sure you share this video with your friends who are MAC wrestling fans, or you want to get into MAC wrestling so that I can continue to grow and make more videos about these subjects. And let's talk about Mizzou, because they have been the team in the MAC over the past decade. I mean, the past decade, they have been the team on top. And of course, yeah, they've been on top in the NCAAs as far as like top 10 finishes. This year finished top 7 with 10 qualifiers, 3 All-Americans with O'Toole, Mahler, Elam. I mean, huge success for this program. But they haven't lost an in-conference dual meet since their inaugural year in the MAC, when they lost to Central Michigan back in 2012. And they've won every single conference title since then. They are actually the last team to win a Big 12 title since like Oklahoma State's won it since then, but they're the last team to win it before Oklahoma State's real dominant reign over the last decade. But that's another video, because now we're talking about the MAC and which team is next in line to do well in the MAC. So let's look at some of these schools. I already mentioned a few off the top, but Rider finished 3rd at the MAC this year. They qualified 6 guys for the NCAA tournament. They had an NCAA finalist, and Jesse De La Vecchia, I mean, huge. Unfortunately, he's not coming back for another season, but that's big. They finished top 20 at NCAAs, one of the top teams in the MAC. I mean, mostly due to the success of De La Vecchia making the finals. Northern Illinois, I mean, could they be the next team in line with 2 All-Americans, with Britt Wilson and Bryce West? Could they be the next team in line? Or maybe it's Kent State, Lock Haven, or another one of these schools. No, there's one team that you need to have on your radar, because they were reigning in the MAC before Mizzou, and that's Central Michigan. Central Michigan has been on top in the MAC before Mizzou came in and started dominating and started their reign. Now, they haven't won the MAC since 2012 because Mizzou has been in the way. They've been their conflict. They've been their heels, not able to defeat them. But let's talk about some of the history. You know, I mentioned that Central Michigan has been the team to watch. Well, why? Well, let's look at their finishes. I know it seems like a lot of crazy numbers here, okay? And yeah, I guess there are. But they finished top 3 every single year since Mizzou's been in the MAC, except for 2 years. They actually finished 5th twice. But other than that, I mean, they're consistently top 3, top 2 finishes. And yeah, Mizzou is pretty much run. I mean, look at the points difference. Yeah, they've pretty much run away with it every single year. And I mean, even years when Central Michigan wasn't second, Mizzou has been the team that's run away with it. They've been the dominant force. But the thing is, before this, and you see that kind of near the bottom, 2011, 2012, okay, they finished first. But before that, I mean, they had 11 straight MAC titles under head coach Tom Borelli, who is the longest reigning NCAA coach at a program right now. I believe he's around 30 years that he's been coaching at Central Michigan. I mean, unbelievable what he's able to do. And even in those years when, looking back around 2013, or 2011, 2012, whenever Central Michigan was supposed to supposedly lose their streak and they didn't. And even since then, you know, they had a 5th place finish in the MAC, but since then they've come back and finished 2nd. So what is in their favor? Why do I think Central Michigan is going to be this team that's going to be reigning? Of course, no Mizzou. That's first and foremost, no Mizzou. But second, other than that, they have 3 returning MAC champs. That's big. And not only MAC champs, but 3 returning seniors. And Drew Hildebrandt, who was an All-American. Matt Stencil, who was an All-American in the past, did an All-American this last year. Dresden Simon, who made the blood round this past year, Each of these guys is returning. It's such exciting news. I actually wrote an article about it on the website on FancoWrestling.com. But Hildebrand did All-American this year and will be on his way back into the lineup, which is super exciting. As well as 4 total qualifiers returning from last season. And the guy that I didn't mention was Johnny Lovett at 157. And then in the past, there have been other qualifiers who were back in the lineup. Drew Martin, London Pelham. Each of these guys, or Landon Pelham, each of these guys is back for another season, and it's going to be super exciting to see how Central Michigan takes it to these other teams. Are they going to be able to become the new Mizzou in the MAC and keep dominating and just destroying each of these other teams like Kent State, Northern Illinois, or am I wrong about this? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you're looking for another interesting wrestling video, I have a feeling you may like this one right here.